Facebook. There we go. And bam. Okay, we got over there. All right. Howdy, howdy. It's Wednesday night. Sorry I got this started so late, but we got biker news. If that's more interesting for you, we got a couple biker news stories, allegedly biker news stories. So the stories, and I see the press here, the CBC, and another few other outlets are trying to drag in a motorcycle club into their story. So I figure we'll go through the damn story together and see if it's got any merit. There's actually a couple of them. They're both coming out of Quebec. And like you say, it's you know, it's not surprising things are coming out of Quebec. It is a pretty active part of Canada, you know what I mean? For as far as stories and people getting arrested for this and accused of that and blah blah fucking blah. Well, hang on. Before we get started though, talking about crimes and criminals, we're talking about going back to the year 1997-ish, I think I started. One Night at the Playpen. It's a book I wrote about my time in one of the large motorcycle clubs in Canada, one of the largest motorcycle clubs in the world. And it goes from when I met the club guys until I joined the club guys and until we all got arrested, me and all the club guys. But then I was a club guy. And then I said, okay, that's good. But anyways, to get the book, you have to get it on Amazon for right now because everyone who's getting copies from me, and I do have two people waiting patiently, which I much appreciate. Guys, by the way, Wayne and John, thank you for being patient. The postal strike's buggering up for the time being. So let's go through the chat real quick and say hello. So we got Kyle. Thank you, Kyle. I don't think I met you before. Thanks for jumping in the chat. I appreciate it. You're always welcome. And my old buddy Steve. Hey, Steve, how are you, bro? And yeah, Steve got the book. And I don't know, how do you think about the book? What did you think about it? And you know, if it's like, well, I was a little this, well, it's okay. You can't hurt my feelings. I don't think I got none left, except for being pissed off. I got pissed off and not pissed off. That's my range anymore, man. And Lulu, how are you, Lulu? Thanks for joining me, man. It's always a pleasure. So, you guys want to check out these news stories? Now, I haven't read the whole story word for word or anything like that. I skimmed them. Well, you're not done yet. All right, brother. Well, drop me a line when you finish it. Let me know what you thought. I tell you, it's got a lot of stuff going on in it. Considering I wasn't in the club really for all that long. The book covers maybe a little more than a decade of my life. So, but man, oh man, I seem to pack a lot of stuff in, and I did lots and lots with the guys in the hang around stage. I went everywhere, did everything, when they did also. But as a full patch, man, wow, I got a lot of stuff crammed in for a short period of time. All right, so this story's taking us out to Quebec. Quebec. So now these stories are always hard to follow sometimes, or not always hard to follow sometimes. So the story's from Montreal, I reckon. Police arrest 13 for gang whapping that mistakenly targeted a dealer's mom. Might have been a stockbroker, but I don't think so. So they raided an apartment building somewhere in Lachine Tuesday morning. So it was yesterday, I reckon. So police in Quebec and Ontario arrested 13 people on Tuesday in connection with the murder of a 45-year-old woman believed to have been mistakenly killed in place of her son, a member of a notorious gang. I'm just going to read it word for word. It's how it's written in the news story. The 13 people arrested included women and men ranging in age from 18 to 51 years old. 6 of them will appear in court later Tuesday to answer charges of murder and conspiracy to commit murder. Whew. Captain Marie Manon Savard with the Quebec City Police Department said that the three people arrested on Tuesday were involved in the homicide of Jennifer Morin, who was killed at her Quebec City home in December of 2024. So almost a year ago. Oh, Morin's death, however, was a case of mistaken identity, Savard said. The alleged killers had been targeting her son, Jeffrey Morin, who is a member of the infamous gang known as the Blood Family Mafia. Dum, dum, dum. It sounds scary now, man. They named the guy, his mom's name, and the gang that he's allegedly a member of, according to the Quebec police. The Quebec City Police had a Tuesday's operation, which involved more than 200 officers from Ontario Provincial Police from the departments across Quebec and targeted 14 locations. Raids in Montreal on Tuesday morning took place in an apartment building in the Lachine borough. One of the people arrested in connection with Morin's murder was arrested at the Quebec City Detention Center where they had been detained. The Blood Family Mafia has in recent years challenged the Hells Angels biker gang for control of the drug market in and around Quebec City. Now, I hate these stories. They make bikers seem like that's what they do, run around and killing each other for drug territory. And there's so much more to the motorcycle. Well, anyways, the resulting power struggle has led to a spate of violent incidents, including multiple killings. When his mother was killed, Jeffrey Morin had been dealing cane, according to information revealed in court when Morin pleaded guilty to drug and weapons trafficking charges in July. He was sentenced to 6 years and 9 months in prison. An undercover investigator was buying cane and semi-automatic assault rifles from Morin around that time. The day after her death, Morin told the investigator that he would be late for the drug shipment because his mother had died. Savard said Tuesday's operation was one of the largest in the Quebec City Police Force's history. Hang on, doggies. I gotta pet my dogs with my left hand while I do this, otherwise they bark. It's an extremely vast police operation. It's an investigation that includes an enormous amount of analysis that led to today's raids, she said. And it tells you about the author. That's the story? Huh. So they did all that, and they managed to drag. Yeah, but they talk about this story differently in other places. But that's interesting. So that's how they got that dragged into the story. Huh. Okay. So let's get the other story. Actually, I'm more interested in this story. Go back again. Hang on. What we're going to do? We're going to do this. I'm confused. Sorry. BFM. Dum, 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 dum. Okay, news. Canada's most wanted fugitive arrested in his hideout. So that guy's supposed to be part of that. No, okay. Okay, let's get on to the other story then. So it's not a wild story. They said all that stuff. And the way I had seen it on another channel, actually go check out his channel once in a while, and whenever you like. He's a good guy. He's got a good story. He's called Crafty One. That's how you search him on YouTube. And he talks. He translates the stories from the Quebec newspapers because they really cover crime like hard in Quebec. And there's a few different newspapers. So he goes through all the papers and he translates them to English. And he tells you what's going on down there. Hello, Thumper. Good to see you, brother. Been a long time, actually. And Bruce, how are you? Bruce, haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you, too. Has been a great week. Great weather this week for riding And again, I'm a little bit annoyed. I ain't got nothing to ride. Yes, and you guys just had another bad one over the weekend, did you not? Out there in Calgary, I believe. I saw a cager took out another motorcycle, as they do. It's like it's a game of just point boards or something. So this one again drags in bikers, as they say it. Hey, and Warland too. How are you, brother? Good to see you too. You had eye surgery, Thumper. Oh, I hope you're okay, bro. I think I remember you mentioning that you were gonna have eye surgery. I hope it went well, and I'm glad to see you in the chat. At least you're that far along. Steve, more great weather, high 20s this weekend. Yeah, get out there on your scoots this weekend. You never know where in Canada it could change like that. Because actually, by the time I got home this evening, I was putting on a hoodie. So it went from nice and warm to putting on a hoodie. You get on a motorcycle, you got to times that by a lot. And it's still riding season. That's all I got to say. So Laval, Quebec shooting leaves organized crime figure dead, 2 others injured. So this one again, let's read it through. It's an interesting story. You're good now? Good for you, bro. And you're back on your bike, man. Good for you, Thumper. That's all. That's what really matters. You can see and you're back in the fucking wind. Nice. So police in the Montreal suburb. Oh yeah, this is in Laval, Quebec. And this is from today, I believe, as far as I recall, 2 hours ago. This wasn't very long ago at all. The story hit. So, the call to the Starbucks near Highway 440 Wednesday morning. According to Radio Canada, the victim was Shalambo Begalo. Whoa. Also known as Bobby the Greek. That's a lot easier to say. The 2 people injured in the shooting were members of his gang, the Chomade Greeks. Who the hell names these guys? That was it? Come on. That was not it. Come on. I saw so much more about it on Crafty One. So who was this guy? Oh, apparently, so this is out of the Gazette in Montreal. Who was Charlebois? Go, a heroin trafficker killed at a Laval Starbucks. Telego's first brush with the police was at just 19-year-olds when he was involved in the dial-up drug delivery service. Well, all right. So this is a couple hours ago. So the man who was shot dead inside Laval Starbucks on Wednesday was once a very active drug trafficker known to police for specializing in heroin from a young age. Oh, I'm going to just call him Bobby the Greek. And he's 40 years old, came to the attention of police when he was just 19. He was residing at an address at Coyne Boulevard that was estimated to be worth more than 1.1 million 2 decades ago. So he's 19 years old, 20 years ago, living in a $1.1 million. He wasn't thinking that through. At least put it in somebody else's name and sign a lease or something. Anyway, in 05 to go, and 6 other people were charged as part of an investigation dubbed Operation Noxious. The investigation revealed that Bobby the Greek was part of a network that ran dial-up drug delivery service. It was based out of Cartierville and Park Extension districts. In 06, he pleaded guilty to 2 counts of drug trafficking and 2 related charges of conspiracy. And he got a deuce for it. That ain't bad. A year later, Bobby the Greek and 4 other men made headlines when they were arrested. Suspects in an 04 assault on a taxi driver who was beaten into a coma because the cabbie owed money to a loan shark. Whew. You can't collect off a guy in a coma. I don't know if anyone ever took the how you collect course, but at least leave them so they can pay you. A year later, Bobby the Greek and 4 other men. Okay, we got that one. One of the accomplices arrested in the attack on the cabbie was also convicted in Operation Nauseous, and the accomplices' parole record described him as being part of a very structured network. In 09, Bobby the Greek was arrested for a second time in a major drug trafficking investigation, this time around the probe was dubbed Project Smack. Smack him down, a street name for heroin. The dealer sold drugs like cocaine, heroin, and speed in a metro station downtown in southwestern part of Montreal. At the time the arrests were made, police said the network operated independently of organized crime groups. On February 24th, Bobby the Greek pleaded guilty to 3 counts of drug trafficking and 1 count of conspiracy, as well as charges related to possession of a firearm. He was sentenced the same day to 5 years that time, the longest sentence among the 3 other people he was charged with in Project Smack. But the Greek has no criminal record following his convictions in Project Smack. But the Attorney General of Quebec pursued him in civil court in 2022 in a case where it sought to confiscate something from him. According to La Presse, he was known as Bobby the Greek and was allegedly the leader of a very influential organized crime group based in Laval, specifically the Chamadé district. Citing unnamed sources, La Presse reported that Bobby the Greek distributed contracts behind arson, fires, and other crimes. Oh, there's a photo of him. Pretty unassuming guy. There's Laval. I don't know who that is. Maybe the first photo wasn't him. Maybe that's the end of that story, too. See, the other story, again, tied him into the bikers, but it actually made him sound like he was a part of 81. The other story I saw, so that's good. And the fact that it's not through all the papers written the same way, because they like to drag in bike clubs into these kind of stories if they can. Oh, this is the one about the mistaken identity of the mother. And apparently an offshoot of that story was the Blood Family Mafia is still going, but the one guy's in jail in Italy and the other guy's in jail somewhere else. Bruce, thank you, Bruce. That's good advice. We got 22 watch and only 6 likes. Hit the like button, people. If you don't mind, I would appreciate it. It just helps us out, and it keeps things moving along, man. I can keep the show getting better and better as we go forward. Because I really want to keep doing a daily show. So as the weather changes, I'm going to I have to dig a little bit deeper, you know what I mean, and find us something to talk about each and every day. Look at this one, the Rocky Mountain Outlook. They got, anyways, one picture died. It's the same story. I'm just seeing if there's any other offshoots to that story. I don't think that there is, or any more tie-ins or anything that has anything to do with bikers. But it doesn't appear that way. Good. All right, then. Well, that's good. So that was the biker news I had. Again, it's always, who got arrested for this and who got arrested for that. That's why I don't really love doing biker news stories. But I guess if I can call myself Biker News Canada, I'm going to have to get it into me. So let's change gears and get back into what we normally do. There's still a few bike nights out there. Yeah, it's a little bit chilly at night. We just went through the weather thing. Put your leather on. Get some layers on if you need them. And this is the last week, October 2nd, in Beauvalon, at the back country Boar's Nest. And that is in Beauvalon, Alberta. So go check that one out. If you live up around there, one last one, and it's tomorrow. And we might find that may be the last of them. Okay, so if you live in Newmarket, you can ride by the Silver City and see if they're still doing their bike nights. I'm not 100%. And end of September was this one for the Bikers Down Society, out east in Halifax. And it said till the end of September. So A lot of them are wrapping up now. Alliston, Alliston, Ontario at the Tipsy Fox. Let's ride by there and see if we got Steve. You're gonna have to keep us busy over the winter so we don't sit on our cries polishing the paint off the bike. That's the thing. And like I say, you know, if there's not a whole bunch of action, I got to dig deep or find something other, find something else to talk about, right? Which is why I started getting into, crime stories from the past and infamous bikers from the past. I want to get my research straight and do a good show about that one back in the day in Port Hope, because that involved, I think, at least two clubs in Ontario and maybe one club from Quebec as well. So it looks like the Bacchus Canada MC 1%ers, it looks like they're still running their bike nights into September or October. But it says October 9, which is a week from tomorrow. So maybe they're not weekly, maybe they're bi-weekly. So drop by there October 9th, 3229 Bronte Road South, and show your love and your support to Bacchus MC. Great club, great bunch of people. Go check them out. They're nice enough to open up their clubhouse to the public every second Thursday. That's kind of unheard of in the 1%er world. So much appreciated, you guys. Thank you. Thumper, we still have plenty of riding here in Georgia. I guess so, bro. I would consider Georgia would be 12 months a year, wouldn't it? Lows are in the high 50s. That's kind of cold. Still in the high 70s, mid 80s. Yeah, that's kind of where we're at around here. Surprisingly enough, in southern Ontario. Yeah, and Steve interviews. If I can keep lots of people coming for interviews, I got one lined up for us for tomorrow. The riding club out of New Liskeard called the Wild Dogs, and the man's name is Darren. So we just finalized that tonight, and he'll be joining me tomorrow. St. Ange looks like they shut him down at September 18th. And Thursdays is like one of the busiest bike nights, if that makes sense, that I knew of, right? They always had, I could do an hour show just going through the list of bike nights across mostly Ontario and the rest of Canada too. Now, if you're down there in the Windsor-Leamington area, go check out the Colchester Bar and Grill. Go give them a ride by, see what they're doing. And like you say, I don't know. I think all these ones with the gray boxes are ones that the host removed them so that people didn't think they were still going, sort of thing. Oh, this is a one-off, or that was a one-off. Maybe we'll get that one going. I think Cambridge has packed it in for the year, have they not? I believe they have. Again, if you're out on your bike, they're Duke and Duchess at 900 Jameson Parkway, Cambridge, Ontario. But I think that they packed it in for the year. So I don't think you guys want to sit and watch me scroll. And I don't know why, but my back is effing killing me tonight. So I think that we're going to wrap this baby up for the evening and call it good. Don't forget, if you guys are out there getting your Christmas going, your Christmas gifts going, or you want to tell your sweetie what you want, check out Redneck Side Motorcycle Whips. And it's just redneckssidemotorcyclewhips.com. He's a friend. He's from the States, but he'll ship it up here. Put in Biker News Canada at the checkout, and you'll get 15% off, which hopefully will make up for the exchange rate. And I don't know what the deals are for getting stuff across the border or anything like that this day and age. But check him out. Like I said, Redneck Side Motorcycle Whips. There's some of his products there. He will custom make you a motorcycle whip. If you're in a club, he'll put your club colors Lots of different ends, lots of different ways. He's got apparel. He's got different boards and pegs, headlight, taillight covers, derby covers. So, like I say, if you're getting ready, gearing up for Christmas shopping, check out that website. And of course, the Guardian Bell, which I mentioned last night. Hey, look at that Guardian Bell. That one looks really cool. It's a semi truck. I've never seen that before. Dig it. Where is it? Bring it up here. Hey, that looks pretty cool, man. I like that. Truck's got a flame job and everything. I dig it. So there you go. Some ideas and shit like that. And yes, so listen, yeah, that's when. So on Friday nights, I always do my show on what's happening this weekend. And yes, there's lots of fall rides coming up this weekend and next weekend. So there's still stuff going on. So stay tuned. Friday nights, 8 p.m. And I'll tell you what's happening that I know of for the weekend coming. All right. And Thumper, much love, brother. Thanks for dropping in, man. Come on by anytime. I'm trying to get on at 8. Tomorrow I'll be on at 8 because I have a guest. I can't mess around when I have a guest. Keep them waiting. And until then, everybody, thank you so much for taking your time and checking out my show. It means the world to me. Hit the like button if you don't mind on your way out. And until tomorrow, keep her safe out there and have a great night, everyone. Much respect.